Hi, I'm Dr. Joan Nelson, and on this channel I talk a lot about my research regarding the experiences of working parents with a heavier focus on working mums. And I talk about how the construct of work 9 to 5 and the fact that that doesn't align with school is really problematic. Problematic for both working parents but also for organisations as well. So today I wanted to share a little bit about this idea of flexible working, and that's flexible in terms of both location and also flexibility in terms of schedule. So about 5 years ago, this is before I became a mum, so I've got a 4-year-old and a 14-month-old. So 5.5 years ago, I had to have surgery on both of my feet. And what that meant is that I couldn't walk for a period of time. I was in a wheelchair and I couldn't walk, and that meant I must have been out of the office for might have been a couple of months. So I could work from home with my computer, but I just couldn't drive into the office because of the operation that I'd had. And I remember leading up to the surgery, oh my gosh, I was so nervous about how on earth was I going to get all my work done when I had to work from home for this period of time. Really, really worried that I was going to get behind on work, and gosh, I hope I didn't let my clients down. And was really concerned about it. Anyway, had the surgery. I think I had a week of sick leave to sort of recover, and then started working from home. Well, blow me down, it ended up being the most efficient I have ever been before at my job. And what I've realised is, because I love a good chat, by the way, anyone who'll talk to me, I'll love it. If someone's chatting in the background, I can't help myself from wanting to listen in and participate in the conversation. So when suddenly I was working from home and not in an office environment, I became really, really efficient. And so all these worries I had about working from home causing me to be behind on work, it was the complete and utter opposite. I became so efficient at my job. I ended up doing it in significantly faster time than what I had done beforehand. So after that period, I had to work from home. It must have been 2 or 3 months. It was quite a long time before I was able to walk and drive again properly. And I kind of just didn't return to the office. I sort of went in sort of one day a week so I could, spend time with my colleague there. But I found that working from home was actually much, much more efficient. And it was really interesting because at that time in my life, we had flatmates. A bit odd, I suppose. We were a married couple and we had flatmates. And then later that year, I became pregnant and we had our first child. And I remember my flatmates would always kind of tease me when they left for work for the day. They're like, oh, Ellen's working from home today. And I had to always really justify it to them. Like I was like, no, I do work hard. I promise you, I work really hard from home. And I felt like I had to justify it hard out. And I remember even my colleagues in my workplace, I was sort of really kind of a bit shy in telling them. In fact, I sort of didn't. And I say got away with it. Isn't that weird? I say got away with it. But what happened is, so my office was in a smaller region and most of my colleagues were actually in some of the bigger offices. So I didn't actually work in their office anyway. I was sort of in a smaller office. And so because of that, the people in the bigger offices kind of didn't actually know that I worked from home. I sort of made a point of not telling them. And why did I do that? I don't know. It was almost like I was a bit embarrassed that I worked from home, that maybe that didn't kind of count as real work, or that people might judge me or think that maybe I wasn't working as hard. And so it was this thing that I kind of kept a little bit of a secret for a couple of years. I mean, I told my boss because I like to be honest with my boss about what I'm doing, but I certainly didn't make it kind of common knowledge to everybody that I worked from home, because for some reason I had it in my head that didn't count as proper work. Anyway, I've let all that go and I've sort of gotten over myself and realised that no, I want to shout this to the rooftops. Working from home, I mean, it's not for everybody, and I'm not saying that you should work from home all the time every day. There's definitely advantages of working at the office as well. The social side of it's really good. The ability to bond with your team is really good. And I know for some people, the discipline of working at home isn't necessarily there for them. They find it much better to work at the office. So totally fine. I'm certainly not suggesting that people should only work from home and that the office is no good, not at all. But what I am saying is that for people that do find it beneficial working from home, and I'm definitely one of them, as I said, I'm a massive chatterbox, so it's far more efficient for me just to work from home. I can put kind of, head down, bum up, get my work done and nut it out much, much faster than what I do at the office. So I just think it's really important to talk about the benefits of working from home, and that I think we live in an age now, especially since COVID and the lockdowns, we no longer need to justify it. And in fact, something that was quite interesting, there's a company called Protoscore, and they focus on employee visibility software. And in 2020, so last year, during, I think it was March and April of 2020, they did this huge study of more than 100 million data points of just over 30,000 US-based Protoscore users. And what they found during that period, and so remember, March, April 2020, a lot of people were working from home, they found that productivity had gone up 47% from the year previously. That's a huge increase, 47% increase in productivity when people were working from home. So there we go. As I say, it's not for everybody, it's not necessarily for all the time, but working from home has a lot of benefits, and no longer should we be in a phase where we have to justify it and say, oh, no, I am working. Working from home is working from the office. Work is work. Thanks very much.